Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're far too kind. It's your boy A Dub. This is Club 50 Sports. I'm here with my main man, Manny C. What's going on? Talk to me, baby.
Everything is good. Everything is good.
All
How's
right.
everybody out there? Sorry we couldn't make it. Busy, grown men lives. But we are happy to be back. We miss all of you, and hopefully we give you guys a good show today. Please do not forget to subscribe. Please hit that like button, and please tell your friends, your family about us. We really appreciate it.
Most definitely, most definitely. Make sure you check the guys out right here at Club 50 Sports. Like Manny said, we weren't able to make it last week, but we thank you all for watching again this week. We are really, really happy to be back, and we got some good topics to talk over with you. So let's go ahead and jump into it. One of the marquee games this past week was the Packers and the Chiefs. The Packers right there in Lambeau Field, a rematch of Super Bowls 1 and 2. Um, they, uh,
Right.
they come out there and I guess, surprise. I don't know if it's really surprise. The Chiefs haven't been playing very well, but the Packers go out there, they play a really good game, and they beat the Chiefs 27-19 in Lambeau Field. What are your thoughts? What'd you see?
Well, I saw that Matt LaFleur surely did a great job calling plays for the youngster. The guy looked very good. He looked good. He looked poised in the cold weather. You know what that requires. Need to pound the ball. That for sure. They did great pounding the ball, and I gotta give Matt LaFleur some big props because he literally helped that young guy out. He literally did. Like, you know what? Help him out. Run the ball. Give him easy passes. Man, that little young receivers that they got, man, they're stepping up, man. I like Watson a lot. He made some key catches in that game, and I was like, you know what? They might make the playoff. They might sneak in. You know, Jordan Love had 3 touchdown passes. Can't complain. You know, that's a good night. To know that I'm a little bit worried about the Chiefs is since 2018, Mahomes, that Kansas City Chiefs offense scored 20 points, and this season so far, it's been 6 games since they haven't reached over 20 points, and that is very very weird for that offense to not move the ball effectively. As you can see, the wide receivers cannot get any separations, and if they do, they can catch the ball. I will say, at the end of the game, that was a penalty. It was a.
100%. a
I
100%.
saw, I saw what a lot of people saw out there. I saw a pass interference, my friend. You know,
And you
it was all there for.
you're talking about the one on MVS, right?
Yeah,
On
yeah, that was a pass interference. Now, can we say how maybe he probably would have dropped the ball, but maybe he would have caught it. Like we're not sure what would have happened. I'm not sure,
right,
you
right.
know.
We can't go
But
on hypotheticals with that. We got to just go with what
no,
is
yeah, 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 yeah.
really a foul.
But it was there. It was all there for the taking. It was fairly a close game throughout. Pacheco with 18 carries at 110. He was pounding the hell out of the Green Bay Packers in the second half, my friend. I was like,
Yeah.
"Ooh." Andy Reid said, "You know what? We are gonna go with you, and you it is." Like, I never saw McKinnon.
Well, McKinnon
Edwards
McKinnon
Helaire
was
probably came
injured.
out like for a couple of. Huh?
Yeah, McKinnon was injured that last game. He was inactive. He didn't play.
Oh, but and so Helaire probably came out for like a couple of, like, he came in for like a couple of plays, but again, a couple of plays he came in because the majority of the other, like, of the carry, it was him.
Yeah, what I would have liked to see. I would have liked to see Pacheco carry the ball 30 times last night. The way he was running, I feel like 18 just wasn't enough out there in that tundra in that frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. You got to give that kid the rock 30 times. I know that it's not very common these days to give it back that type of work, unless you're a Derrick Henry, unless you're one of those types of backs. But this kid was running like he was mad at the grass. He was running like mad at the grass. So I'm not sure why they kept on leaning back on the passing game when this dude was basically dropping 6-7 yards a clip. So I know Andy Reid kind of
There was a pick like late in the fourth quarter. It was like 6 minutes remaining. That Andy Reid came out like in one possession, and he just started. He threw like three straight times, and I'm like, and that's when Mahomes threw a pick, and I was like, what are you doing? Like, you having successful, like you're picking up at least 5 yards a pop, 3 to 4 yards pop carry. There's no need for you to like, hey, play within your means. Like, yo, if you have Pacheco rushing the ball at a very good eclipse against the Packers defense, stick to what you're having thing with. Like, stick to the running game. You're having success, stick with it. In my opinion, that's where he lost the ball. I think when he threw that pick, I was like, no, I was not okay with that call. No.
Yeah, you know me. We're big Andy Reid fans. So who am I to question what he's
No.
calling?
Yes.
But the way that kid was running, I would have liked to see a lot more. I would have liked to see maybe 5, maybe 10 more carries from the kid and see what he can do. Maybe he can bust one open. He has the speed to be able to get off to the second and third level and maybe stretch a play. But the Kansas City Chiefs just aren't looking good right now. Kelsey doesn't really look like himself. Maybe it's just a little bit of age. Maybe it's just a long season. Maybe it's a little bit of Taylor Swift. I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't want to.
It could be. It could be.
But yeah, they're reeling right now, and they're gonna have to do something to get off the snide. It's not looking.
And
so
the thing
great
is that
anymore.
it's like you said, like in one of those shows that we had before, Adam. They're scheming against Kelsey. DC's defense of coordinators, they're telling themselves, this man, number 87, is not going to beat me today. He's just not going to beat me. I'm going to force somebody else to make some catches. And we haven't seen yet that receiver out of that this year. And it's looking very rocky. The AFC is wide open, my friend. Anyone can win it. Anyone. And they
100%.
have a little tough matchup coming up against the Bills, man. I'm still not sure who I'm gonna pick, but it's a little matchup that I'm worried. I'm worried for Andy Reid and Mahomes.
They're not looking good. They're not looking good right now. They're not looking like the Chiefs that we've come to know and maybe love. We're not Chiefs fans, so basically the ones that we've come to know. Segmenting over into the NFC, we had 2 powerhouse teams go head to head this past week. In the 49ers and the Eagles, they were at Lincoln. The link.
The link.
Essentially, yes. It didn't go so well. There was no home cooking for the Philadelphia Eagles, and it was Mayday. The 49ers brought those Eagles down quite quickly. Really tough. It was a physical battle. It was physical out there. And from what I saw, the Philadelphia Eagles got the physicality. They just couldn't match up when it came to the 49ers, offensively and defensively. And that's pretty hard to do for this Eagles team because that's a physical Philadelphia Eagles team. What were your thoughts on the game? What'd you think about it?
No, the basically that the Eagles got overwhelmed in the trenches. McCaffrey ran. He ran buck wild. The 49ers scored on six straight possessions, my friend. 6 straight possessions. They didn't have an answer. They like the defense didn't have an answer, and The back end of that defense of the Eagles is very weak right now. Anyone can score on that defense, and that's a recipe for disaster in the playoffs. And I'm very disappointed with that Georgia I used to watch in college with Jesse Davis and Jalen Carter. They haven't panned out yet. They're not playing like their first round pedigree. You
Nope.
know, the Eagles this year, they let walk away Hargrave to the 49ers, which he has been balling with the 49ers. I understand you want to cut back and you want to start go younger because Hargrave is 30 years old. They went younger. They drafted Jalen Carter. I'm thinking to myself, he's going to be a little beast coming out of Georgia. That guy was a monster. Good, great run stopper. He can put pressure on the quarterback. As of right now, that guy has not panned out. He hasn't panned out. As you can see, McCaffrey had almost 100 yards rushing. Don't get me wrong. A lot of that went outside to the Godzilla side. You know, Trent Williams. But again, when McCaffrey ran through the middle, he was just they were opening up lanes, and Jalen Carter is in the middle, and he was just getting pushed out the play. He was. I'm like, no, 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 no. We drafted you, and by the way, the 49ers wide receivers, man, boy, do they get yak after the catch, man. Yards after catch. My lord. Debo Samuel had 88 yards receiving and yards after catch. 88 yards. With two scores, by the way. Purdy threw great game. Purdy, I think he dissected that defense nasty. 4 touchdowns, two of them went to Debo. What do you say about that?
No, I think that was one of the major points that I had. In all honesty, the game wasn't that big of a difference with regards to the stats. In all honesty, they both played really clean when it comes to turnovers. Neither team had a lost fumble. Neither team had an interception. I think that the difference was those chunk plays. Debo's ability to catch an 8 yard in and run directly up the seam through the secondary of the defense. And that was something that you've already alluded to. That secondary is not a very good secondary.
It's
There's
very
not
weak.
one guy out there who anybody is going to fear. And then it was like Swiss cheese through them. Debo saw opening, and it was nothing but daylight from there. So that was one of the major things. Overall, I don't believe that the game was really reflective of the scoreboard. If you really looked at the game, yeah, they got some big chunk plays here and there, but it was it was just weird. It was just a really lopsided when it comes to the scoreboard, but it was just those big home run hits that really got the San Francisco 49ers ahead. And I don't know whether or not the San Francisco 49ers are going to have to attest for waving at the fans and, just kind of, making a mockery a little bit of the whole thing and just taunting and everything. Because I'll tell you one thing, from what I've seen from Jalen Hurts, the kid has some bounce back to him. He's a rubber band man. He bounces back. And I'm sure that those images are something that he's not going to forget too soon. So if they have to see each other down the line, they might be playing up against a very angry Jalen Hurts. So they better watch themselves with that.
The thing also that we need to I didn't know this, but I was doing some studying. But like in the West Coast system, the receivers need to learn. They need to be a good blockers. And Kyle Shanahan sure has some good blockers in the outside to open up
Absolutely.
holes. And I was surprised, man, when I saw that because it's true. Like Mike McDaniel's here with the Dolphins, those wide receivers they can also block. They block pretty good for running plays, and he it's the same scheme that they're running up with the 49ers. But I was Debo Samuel, man, he was talking that smack for a whole year, man, because he came in to first take like the Super Bowl, and he said, "How we had our healthy quarterback, we would have beaten them." Um, and He said like all week, man, the 49ers, they were talking that trash, and guess what? They backed it up. I am okay with you backing up while you talk. Hey, homie came in, he scored 2 touchdowns, 88 yards. Like I love Jalen Hurts also. You know me, I'm a big believer in Jalen Hurts. We are gonna find out what he can do. If they I am looking forward for this matchup again in the playoffs if it happens.
Hey, I'll tell you this much right now. Oh, and don't forget, he also had one rushing as well. He also Debo actually
Correct.
had, yeah, he actually had 3 on the day. He had quite the day. But yeah, this is definitely going to be 2 teams that we expect at some point will likely lock horns again. Um, so we'll see. Hopefully my
Will you
Cowboys.
say? Let me ask you this before we leave that topic. Will you say they are the best roster in the NFL? Complete
Um,
roster. Will you say?
top to bottom, you would have to give them that. Defensively, they've got studs all across there. They also acquired Chase Young, who's also a beast. He was just in a sewage of a franchise over there with the Washington Commanders. Now he gets some of the limelight and the fresh air over there in San Francisco. So yeah, you got Bosa on the other side. Like that's just a
They got players in every level of that defense.
no, yeah.
It's like you said, they got Reed. They got
Fred
Hugh
Warner.
Fonga, they got players in every level. Every level. Like there's someone there. There's just someone that they plug in. I'm like, how do you come up with this roster? Like how?
And offensive,
But they
and
are great. I
offensively,
think they're the best team in the NFL.
yeah, and offensively, we don't even need to talk about it. All the weapons that's already we understand what they're working with on that side of the ball. So yeah, when it comes to complete teams, you've got to put the 49ers up there, and there'll be something to reckon with once the playoffs come. So yeah, we'll be seeing more from those guys down the line. That's for sure. So
That's for sure.
moving
Yeah.
over to the association. Um, the Minnesota Timberwolves have come out of the gates fairly hot. They currently lead the Western Conference in the standings. They're 15-4 at this point. Um, my question to you: are the Minnesota Timberwolves sheep in wolves' clothing, or are they legitimate contenders in the West? Is this a facade, or is this a real thing? Talk to me. Tell me what you think. I need
Okay.
to know.
I went back and looked at their schedule, the games that they have played. I mean, they do have some signature wins. They do have Nuggets, Celtics, Warriors, and 76ers. Those are the teams not to be messing around with. They are good teams. They are great. The Nuggets, they're of course they're the NBA champs. Now, with that said, Edwards is having a great season so far. To start the season, I mean, you have to sustain. Remember, this is about sustaining success throughout 22. I think if he keeps this up, they might have a great chance to go deep in the playoffs. To say they're contenders, yes, I will say so. Now, the only thing that I am concerned about is 2 things. One is their bench, and 2 is Carl Anthony Towns. You know that he doesn't play big in the playoffs, and that worries me. He's having a good season. He's averaging 22 points, which is not bad. And then Mike Conley, I mean, he's the only guy. He's 10 points, but I still think in the trade deadline, like they gotta get some help for the bench or get maybe like another starter to complement the other 3. Maybe a bench player will be more possible, but they could sustain this. I mean, they could rebound that crap out of the basketball. Like they are gonna out rebound anyone in the NBA with Gobert and Anthony Towns. But I'm worried though. I think the bench is kind of weak, and they can use some help in that department.
I can agree with that. The bench is definitely a huge staple when it comes to the postseason in the NBA playoffs. It's a long season, so you're going to need some contributions from guys off the bench. There's no way that your top five can do it for that long period of time. But we talked about this off air a couple days ago, or a few days ago. I told you about this. We can rewind it. We can go back to episode 1 or 2. I forget which one it was, and I think that we brought this up
Yeah.
with regards to who could possibly dethrone those Nuggets. And my choice was these Minnesota Timberwolves. One of the biggest reasons was because of their size. I think they have the size to do it. The budding superstar Anthony Edwards. I think that's a huge. He's a huge player, over 26 points per game, and that's what you need. If he's averaging 26 points during the regular season, once the postseason comes, if he can get that clip up to 30 points, 31, 32 points, which is what you need to do in the postseason and do it consistently in the postseason, I think that this team really has a really good chance to be there in the end. Are they a Cinderella story? Will the clock strike 12 and the pumpkin turn back into it, or the coach turn back into a pumpkin? Maybe, but outside of what you've brought up, which I do agree with, they do want to make some moves. They do want to make sure that they kind of tweak this lineup a little bit, or maybe you'll find some guys who just get developed, just like we've seen in the past with Heat players. Your Abe Vincent's. Maybe these guys will develop over time. Maybe they'll gain some continuity, and they won't need to do anything. They won't need to make any moves. Um, but yeah, I definitely think that they are a contender. I think the way that they started off, particularly against some of the teams that you mentioned, you don't just walk in and beat those teams. The Timberwolves, I think, are here to stay.
No, yeah, those are I think good signature wins. Like they're not beating the your Charlotte Hornets are contenders that I just mentioned in the schedule that they played earlier in the season. But like I'm worried though. Like the bench is weak. I think you need someone to knock down 3 pointers in the playoffs because it's not everything is about rebounding in my opinion. You gotta
Absolutely.
knock down long shots in my opinion, and they're trending. I think in my opinion they're trending. They are trending up in the right direction. Edwards is a stud. He is a stud.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest piece. I think that they're trending. Am I going to sit here and say that they're ready for everything that the NBA playoffs are going to bring? I don't think that, because, like you said, Carl Anthony Towns has been that player that we've known to struggle and just not show up, just really not show a sense of urgency when the time is, or when the lights are at their brightest. Um, is there a possibility that there might be a developmental shift when it comes to that? Hopefully, at least for Minnesota Timberwolves fans. Um, but though there may be some things that they need to change, of course, we understand this is not a complete team right now. I think that they've got a good chance, at least, to make a good run in the playoffs and kind of open some people's eyes to the Minnesota Timberwolves being on the map.
That's correct. That's correct. We'll find out. I mean, we still have a long season left of NBA to go.
Yes, sir. We're sticking in the association. Um, these were some statements that were brought up by LeBron James um, about a month ago. I know that we're kind of late in kind of going over this, but as men who were raised in the Miami area and experienced that big three, um, that legendary big three era here in Miami. I definitely think that this is something that we should discuss and kind of take our thoughts, or put our thoughts to it. I'm going to go ahead and read the quote. This is LeBron James. I think I would still be at this level no matter if I would have came here or not. Let's not get it twisted. The 4 years I was here, it was amazing. I loved everything about it. Love this franchise. This franchise is top tier. It's one of the best franchises in the world. But as far as my career was going to be my career as far as individually, because I know how much I put into the game and I know how much I strive to be as great as I can be. As far as what I was able to learn here was second to none, that's for sure. What are your thoughts on that? Do you in any way take that offensively with regards to his statements and his time here in Miami?
Okay, well, I'm gonna say this: is if we're gonna talk about it statistically, right? Yeah, he probably would have been doing the things that he has been doing, because I don't think LeBron James is gonna stop averaging 25 points a game every single night. Like, I don't think that would have ever happened, because that guy is a great he's a great talent. The guy is a great talent. Now, if we are going to talk about championships, because it matters a lot to everyone. I don't think he would have won championships in Cleveland during that time that he was with the Heat. I'm going to tell you why. The only name that I have heard that has gone to Cleveland as a free agent is Mo Williams. Name me who wants to play with the Cleveland Cavs. I'm talking about that era from like 2009 to 2014 when he was here, and even before that, who was aiming to sign with the Cleveland Cavaliers to go and join forces with that man, with him. That's what I want to know, because he saw that Boston was being the in the playoffs with the big three, and that's why he chose, you know what, let me form a little duo with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. Because guess what? In order for me to be this team, I'm gonna have to. I need guns. I need more guns with me. And guess what? There were no guns signing with the damn Caps. No, no, no trades. Yes, after when he finished playing with the Miami Heat, these players got brought in by trades. Kevin Love was brought in via trade, not that he went and signed with the Cavs. And Kyrie Irving, he was there based on a draft pick. It was not like he went and signed as a free. So how are you? Statistically, yes. Championship, no, no way.
Yeah, and I think that the probably the biggest piece that I take away from it was where he says, "But as far as my career was going to be my career as far as individually." That's why I kind of take it back to it. Individually, his career was going to be his career. Was he going to be a future Hall of Famer? Probably, no doubt about it
Yeah,
whatsoever. No doubt about it. He was going to be a Hall of Famer. I believe that in my heart of hearts. But right now, we're talking about legacy, and legacy is different. Legacy is different. Legacy stands the test of time. We've seen great scorers in this league. James Harden is a great scorer. If the guy never wins a championship, multiple championships, he's going to be forgotten in 10, 15 years. He's
that's
going to be
correct.
forgotten. We're talking about, and that's where I go back to my career individually. Well, the truth of the matter is that your individual career is tied to your legacy as well. Your individual career only matters based on the legacy that's created by winning championships. We talk about Michael Jordan all the time. Why? Because of the championships, and then we go to all of the accolades. We don't talk about the league MVPs if we don't talk about the championships. That's just the way it works. There's been a lot of people who have won league MVPs. Those things are forgotten over time. Championships, winners, they remain forever. And I can agree with him when he says, "Oh, my career was going to be my career individually to a certain point, because even individually, those championships that he won here in Miami helped create a larger it built a larger image of him for whatever his place is in basketball history." Do I believe that he wins a championship without the Miami Heat? I don't know, to be quite honest with you. I don't know. Because from what I saw in that 2010 NBA Finals, that kid did not have it. That kid did not have it. I can go look at this. This man had Chris Bosh almost fainting in the tunnel going back to the locker room because even Chris Bosh couldn't believe he outscored LeBron James in the finals in points per game. Chris Bosh that series had, what was it, 18 point, I think it was like 18.8 points a game. LeBron averaged just over 17 points a game. Chris Bosh couldn't believe it. He was fainting. Dwayne Wade couldn't believe what
A guy and by JJ Barea was posting him up. Let's not forget about him because people do tend to forget that JJ Barea had a great finals in that game, and LeBron didn't have like no answer for that guy. No answers.
So Dwayne Wade 26.5 points a game. So we already knew that Dwayne Wade had championship caliber credentials already when that team came together. So he was ready to play in that finals. 26.5 points, nobody can blame Dwayne Wade. 18 points a game for Chris Bosh. He was playing his role. 17 points a game for LeBron James. That was pretty bad. The dude shot, what was it? I think he shot like 48% from the field. He had 24 turnovers in 6 games. That's just not winning basketball. So I don't know what he's thinking, but truthfully, I will say that a blueprint was handed down from Pat Riley and Eric Spo to get him over that hump. And when we tie his career together, we're going to be looking back at those championships, and those championships were brought by means of him coming to Miami. Just one man's opinion, but in all honesty, this is all hypothetical because we can't say if you came to Miami, you won championships, and that's just the way it is. So we can sit here and pretend like that didn't happen, but the fact of the matter is it did happen. Your first championships came right here in the 305, right near South Beach, and we can if all day.
That's correct. Guys, if you're liking this video, please subscribe. Please hit that like button, please. Because we are gonna bring you guys every single week some good content.
Absolutely. Make sure you.
So what we got coming up next, Adam? Talk to me.
It doesn't cost you anything. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. No charge. It's free for you, and you, all the way in the back. We got you. Don't worry about it. It's on us. We are gonna go to this in-season tournament. My question to you, I'm not gonna go too far into it. My question to you is, are you entertained?
I'm gonna say I'm entertained due to the fact that a lot of players they tend to not want to play during the season. I have learned it like the past couple of years. They're not into it. Like they're not really into it. They weren't. That's why Adam Silver came in with this idea that I agree. You gotta keep. I think that players are engaged. I actually went to a Heat game against the Milwaukee Bucks the other day, and the competition was great. I mean, it got physical. It was a great game, and I felt it like the people are playing. People are putting in the work for this tournament. I think it will be. It will stick around for a while, and hopefully it pans out like the first year. But I'm liking it so far. I think it's a good sign for the NBA because people were getting boring like this month, like out of the year. Like I was like, you know what, I'm not, you know. But I'm liking it so far. So far, I'm liking it. It's okay for me.
All right. I'm not sure if that's what Adam Silver was going for, whether or not he was just going for a real nonchalant, like, from NBA fans. But that's kind of what he's getting from me when it comes to this whole NBA tournament type of thing. It's just kind of awkward to me. I got to be honest with you. Um,
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly where the numbers are or what analytics they looked at, but I've never seen any other professional like U.S. or United States like league do anything like this. So it's just kind of strange. Like, what analytics are you guys looking at that are saying that? I don't know whether or not maybe it was attendance levels that were coming down, or people just not being. Maybe the fans weren't into it as much. They kind of get a not so entertained, but nice try from me. We'll see whether or not it sticks around or how long this kind of thing sticks around. Um, but
And also think about players taking rest, a lot of rest days.
yeah,
You know, the players also this time of the year they used to like to take a lot of rest. Like right now, it's not going to happen with this tournament games going on.
but let me ask you this: what's the incentive on this?
I think for me it's that Adam Silver doesn't want players to be taking time off no
No,
more.
but I'm saying, what's the incentive for the players? What's the payout? There has to be some sort of a payout here.
Oh, I gotta do some homework about that then. I'm no,
Okay.
but there's like a payout. I mean, it's not a humongous payout. I mean, but there's like a bonus. I think that you might get if you. I mean, if you win though, this is if you win, of course. Like everything in the world, if you win, you get a bonus. You got a little trophy. You
See,
know.
so that's what I'm worried about. Like, okay, let's just say that you're out. Let's say 2 weeks into the tournament. What makes you not go back to your regular ways of just sitting players? We're barely into December at this point, and right now the in season tournament is nearly over. So it's I don't know whether or not this is a long term solution for people missing time. In my honest opinion, and I think that we've probably had discussions about this before. I think that they just need to start finding players, or like something needs to be done, because you're affecting the brand. You're affecting the brand when you're not
100%.
playing. So I feel like the only way to really um, combat that is not to make some weird tournament like at the beginning of the season that everybody's kind of like shrugging their shoulders at, or at least me. I don't want to speak for everybody, but I say you hit them where it hurts. You got to say, hey, listen, you get paid big contracts to play games, and our fans come in and they spend their money that they work really hard for to watch the product that we put out here on the court. You can't just take games off. And if you do, then this is going to be the penalty for it. Injury, whatever it is, there has to be some sort of penalty for not being able to suit up and play. I don't know what you think about that.
If it was up to me, you're not gonna. In my opinion, the NBA needs to eventually. It needs to be in the new collective bargaining when they do it again. If you don't play, you're not gonna get paid unless you have a real injury, and I'm talking about a real injury. But let me tell you something. I blame the commissioner. That was, I think it was. I'm not sure if it was Adam Silver or David Stern. When the San Antonio Spurs started to do this with Tim Duncan and their big three, that is when hell broke loose. Like as a commissioner should have never let this fly. Be like, we're not having player management. Oh, if they don't want to play, they're not gonna get paid. You, Adam, do not go to work tomorrow. What do you think is going to happen? We're not gonna get paid. They're gonna tell me, okay, oh, you're not gonna come into work. It's okay. Do you have PTO time? No, you're not gonna get paid.
Yeah.
It,
And
that's how work is.
so I agree with that. You should have some sort of a PTO time. And if it's a serious injury, okay, you know what?
Yes.
If it's a serious injury, we understand that. But if it's rest, if it's back pain and stuff like that, there has to be some sort of a PTO time and say, hey, you know what? If you are hurt, we get it, but we can't keep on paying you at the same amount that we're paying you for this contract. Even if you do give them, let's say, 60% of their contract, give them, and these are mega contracts.
Super max contracts, my friend. Super max.
This is not $3 million a year. This is like $50 million a year. So okay, we'll pay you 60% of that. I think that's reasonable to say, okay, 60% of $50 million this year, that's 30 million, Papo. And for you to miss half the season, for you, I think that that's
But look
reasonable.
at what happened to Kawhi Leonard last year. They did some player management, like going into the playoffs, and guess what? He still tweaked his knee. He got injured. The man got injured. So does this really work, player maintenance? No, my friend. Injuries are going to happen. Get hurt, you're going to get hurt. Whether it's player management, whether it's your body is broken down, I don't care. It happened with Kawhi. Oh, player management. He got injured in the first series in the series against Phoenix. So I'm like, that didn't work. I'm guessing that didn't work. You
I,
you still got injured.
I agree. Again, I still feel like 60%, 70%, let's just say somewhere within that range. I think that that's reasonable for them to be getting paid when you're not playing. I understand that, hey, you know what? They're millionaires. They work hard for their money. I get it. But when you're not performing, when you're not coming to work, I don't feel like, again, the people who are impacted the most are the people who are in the stands and they come out to see these players play. I don't think that this person should be able to get a 100% paycheck when they're in street clothes, wearing their nice jewelry, wearing their nice chains, their nice shoes or whatever. You can't get paid 100% of your salary, because I believe that that type of behavior is going to continue. If you're getting 100% of your salary and you're sitting there on the bench, what do you expect to change? Nothing's going to change, and I don't think an in-season tournament is gonna change that either. Just my personal opinion.
Nah, we are gonna have a little topic about player maintenance program eventually on the show.
Yes, that's definitely a great topic, and one of very um, common happenings. It's very commonly put into place right now, and I don't like it. I'm just saying I don't like it. I'm not big on it. All right, so heading back to the NFL, the Texans round up the Broncos and put a halt. Denver was on a hot streak. They were we were worried about them at first. You know, we thought Sean Payton had lost his moxie. You know, he lost to the Jets, the same team that he was going to Nathaniel Hackett about. You know, saying that he did a horrible job last year. He lost against them, but then they put it together. Um, they were put. They were slowed down a little bit. They were slowed down a little bit by a very good Texans team, might I add, in Texas, or in Houston, should I say? Close game, 22-17 victory. What do you think about the game?
Basically, the Broncos couldn't convert a third down. They were 0 and 13. How can you win games like that? And then Russell Wilson wants like, no man, you gotta take care of the ball. You are in the middle of a playoff race. This is it, man. This is it. December is it for you. Either you perform or you go home. Is you need to take care of the ball, man. And I think he threw 3 picks. The guy threw 3 picks. Two of them were like uncalled for, and that is where it. So when the Broncos were on a 5 game winning streak, right? Sean Payne told himself, "I'm gonna take the ball away from Russell, and I'm gonna pound the ball. I'm gonna run the ball. Let's run, Javante Williams. Let's run him down. Let's run." Okay, so what happens in this gives him a little leeway. I'm gonna give Russell Wilson a little leeway today to see what happens. It was a damn bad idea. Not a good idea. If Why would you go away from the recipe that has been winning you games? Running the ball, taking care of the ball, and all of a sudden you have a hiccup. I mean, don't. Okay, don't get me wrong, man. Vance Joseph has done a great job, by the way, with this defense since that 70-point beatdown here in Miami. Vance Joseph, I thought he was gonna get fired. That guy has not done a very good job from that team. Like 0-13, you're not gonna win games, my friend. Nor today, nor tomorrow, nor never. Very sloppy game from Russell Wilson. Very sloppy. CJ Stroud, 16 of 27 for 174 and a touchdown. That guy looks poised. That's all I have to say. He takes care of the football. I mean, that guy's phenomenal. He's living up to his draft stock. He's been phenomenal. I thought that the Houston was going to win three misty games this season. I was wrong. D'Amico Ryans, I think, should be like the candidate for Coach of the Year. He has to be up there, man. What do you think, Adam?
No, I agree with all of those sentiments. The Texans have landed themselves a pick. The Texans have landed themselves a pick, and this is not the same as like the Deshaun Watson pick. This kid can throw the ball from the pocket. Deshaun Watson was kind of that, that Swiss Army knife where he was using his legs quite a bit. And CJ Stroud can do a little bit of that as well. But this kid can throw the rock from the pocket, and he throws dimes. The kid drops passes right in the breadbasket. He is seeing, he's reading everything. He's not guessing out there. This kid sees what he sees, and he makes the plays that he needs to make. The one thing that I will say about the Texans is they do need to clean up those penalties. They had 8 penalties for 81 penalty yards, which led to Denver actually, even though they were 0 for 11 or 0 for 11, I believe it was when it comes to third downs. They were 3 for 3 on fourth downs.
Oh, and 13.
But this dude still, I mean, the Broncos still had more first downs than the Texans because of those penalties. So the Texans were able to squeak this game out, but they've definitely got to clean that up. They're a young team, and of course, first year coach. But the Broncos have quite a way to go. They won 5 games in a row, and that was good for them, especially based on all the criticism that not just Sean Payton, but Russell Wilson was taking. But they ran up against the Texans team that's pretty darn good, and they're going to be looking good for the future as well. So one other thing, I'll tell you, this kid Derek Stingley Jr. out of LSU,
The cornerback is very SEC product, my friend.
out of LSU,
Very good.
that kid is killing it. That kid is killing it.
He had 2 picks against Russell Wilson in his last game.
He's all 6 feet tall, about 190 pounds soaking wet. He's not a big guy out there, but that kid can play football. LSU product.
Yeah.
That kid can play some football, and they've got pieces. The Texans have some really nice pieces. They did lose Tank Dell for the season. They're wide out with an ankle injury, I believe it was.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
So that was a
not
tough
good.
blow for him. But CJ Stroud is going to find whoever's open, and they should be okay moving forward. I like the Texans over the next couple of years. I'll be on the lookout for them for sure.
Me too. I like D'Amico Ryans. He has done a great job with the kid, and also he had a pretty good OC to teach him the ropes for his rookie year. And let's not say that, man. His defense, he got his defense playing well. I mean, he's a DC coordinator, and he's doing his job. So we'll see what happens. Maybe he wins like the Coach of the Year this year. I would not be surprised.
I would not be surprised either. He definitely has my vote. So moving on to a segment that we do every week. We want to know what's on your mind, dude.
I want to talk about the college playoffs that just happened this past weekend. We got Michigan, we got Washington, we got Texas, and we got Alabama. Roll Tide. And you know how I feel about that roll tie and Nick Saban. You know how I feel about that. Um, no disrespect to the FSU fans. I think they did a great job. The team did a great job this year. Like I'm not gonna pour anything on them. Matt Prosper, their coaching staff, to the players. You know, it really sucks that you guys missed out on the playoffs. But when your starting quarterback goes down for the year, it was like a month ago. The guy went down. I told myself they're not gonna make the playoffs. They did, but that committee said no. Because what that committee Adam doesn't want, and to our subscribers out there, the committee does not want Adam lopsided games in the playoffs. As you saw last year with TCU and Georgia, what happened? 65-7. Do you think me as a fan I want to see a lopsided playoff game? What happened was the committee said LSU this last game, it was 3-3 that the score going into the third quarter in the ACC championship game. 3-3, right? Late in the game, it was like 2 minutes left in the game. The Louisville quarterback, it was 10-6. The Louisville quarterback throws a pick in the end zone. If he throws a touchdown in that play, Louisville wins the game, and none of us will be talking about FSU missing out on the playoff. Also, strengthening of schedule. FSU had a that in the nation. Now you tell me, who are they playing? Texas, who made it? They had that 13th hardest schedule in the nation, and Alabama had the fifth. So while FSU was winning to against Louisville, barely, Alabama was beating the first ranked team in the country. You tell me, who will you put in? Will you put in Alabama? As much as I hate Nick Saban, he needs to be in. He beat the best team in the country, Georgia. And I'm sorry, FSU, you was not beating down teams. The last Travis went out. You wasn't beating anyone down. Michigan, I saw games from Michigan, Washington. These teams were drilling teams down. Texas beat Alabama because I saw like that game at work. That was a great game, by the way. And then Alabama beating Georgia. It's a no-brainer, my friend. FSU, you need to be home. And guess what? I am okay with Michigan, Washington, Texans, and Alabama. And by the way, quick before we keep going, my picks for the title game is Michigan and Washington. That's my pick for the title game. I think Michigan will be in the first playoff. I think Washington will beat Texas, and then I think Michigan will be the national champions for this year. That is what's on my mind for the segment.
All right. Sorry about that, FSU. Apparently, Manny agrees with the board. I'll tell you this, just to kind of piggyback off of what you were saying. Nobody wants to see a lopsided victory, but I'll tell you who else doesn't want to see that. The people who sponsor these games, because when people start turning the television off and people stop watching, then that means that sponsors, not only the station that controls it, guess what that's going to do? That's going to drive down prices if you have lopsided games like that. People are not going to want to pay $3 million per commercial because your ratings dip into the cellar because the third and fourth quarter nobody was watching. It was just
I wasn't. I wasn't. Last year in the title game, I turned out the TV out by halftime because the
yeah.
game was already like lopsided already. I was like, why am I gonna watch this?
We all knew TCU was not gonna mount a comeback. That just wasn't gonna happen. So when it comes down to it, it always comes down to the bottom line. It comes down to the money. And sorry, FSU, nobody wants to see you get shellacked on national television. That was a great "What's on Your Mind," Manny. I completely agree with you. Let's go ahead and let's move back into the National Football League. Um, we have the Patriots running backwards. They are retreating. My question to you, well, and I know that we've got a lot to say about Bill Belichick, about all sorts of things. Have the New England Patriots waved the white flag on the 2023 season? Have they chalked it up? Are they done?
100%. Bill Belichick does not know what he's doing on offense. Horrible. Him and Ken O'Brien are horrible. They should not be. They're supposed to be get fired. I'm gonna be honest with you. Um, it's very disappointing. This quarterback carousel that you have going on, that Mac Jones gets benched doing games, Bailey Zappi. Dude, do you know that this week Bailey Zappi is not going to help you get to the playoffs? That's probably where you want to be. It's not going to happen, my friend. You haven't surrounded Mac Jones with sufficient talent and to him left and right in every game. What have you done for dude? What have you done for him? You haven't done shit for him, Bill Belichick. Nothing. Nothing you have done for him. You killed them last year with those damn two DCs that you had. You killed them, basically. If I am Mac Jones, Adam, today, I am requesting my release out of the Patriots this off season. As soon as the season is over, I'm saying I want out of here. I want to start somewhere new and fresh because this man is will mess up my career even worse as the years progress. Because guess what? Next season is coming back, my friend. And so is Tua, and so is Josh Allen. The Patriots are not going anywhere next year again unless you get an onslaught of free agents, which that me, that's not going to happen because it's a cap league. It's a cap league. This season, and you know what is so sad? They're going to get a top five pick, and guess what? They're not going to get the best wide receiver in college, which means you know who he is. Marvin Harrison Jr. He's not going to be there to save the day, my friend. He's just not going to be there to save. Now, Adam, do you trust? Do you trust Bill Belichick making that pick? Because they are heading towards a top five.
At this point, I just feel like there's so many areas of need when it comes to the Patriots, and Bill Belichick hasn't really shown anything or shown the capability of being able to fill those holes with players who are going to be able to assist. I completely agree with you. For you to draft Mac Jones 3 seasons ago, this is his third year in the league. For him not to have a number one wideout, a clear number one wideout, that's a problem. That's a problem for me. For him not to have a clear number one tight end, and yeah, they have the Hunter Henrys. This is a young man who needs to grow with young players and young receivers, kind of like what they've done in Cincinnati. You've got to get these guys some young talent who they're able to work with. And this has been 3 seasons. He doesn't have a great offensive line. He doesn't have a great wide receiver core. Ramon Stevenson, he's a okay running back.
He's okay. He's okay.
So tell me, what have you been wasting draft picks on over the past 3 seasons that you have given this young man nothing whatsoever? Again, we talked about it yesterday. You had Nuke Hopkins coming to the building. You had Odell Beckham Jr. out there in free agency. And yeah, okay, you know what? These guys might be outside of their prime, but they are still legitimate wide receivers in this league. Why are you not even at least trying to help Mac Jones with a clear number one wideout? Just one clear wideout. Who is their number one there? Who's at number one?
Devontae Parker. Devontae Parker, my friend. No disrespect to him, that he's not it.
Come on.
You remember what Joe Burrow told the Cincinnati front office in draft night? He said, "Go and get me Jamar Chase, my friend. There's no if or buts. I need Jamar Chase."
I,
Really? Like
I, I just don't get it. In all honesty, Bill Belichick has ruined this young man's career. I hope he's able to bounce back
100%.
because this has not been fair to him at all. This season, the Patriots have been held under to 7 or less points 5 times this season. 5.
Oof.
They've been
Oof.
shut out
Wow.
twice. Do you know what it is not to have a field goal twice in the same season?
6-0. The last loss. 6 baseball score, my friend. Baseball score. 6-0.
It's humiliating, and I feel horrible for the fans who have to watch that. That's disgraceful. That's disgraceful. You know, what else is just atrocious. This team is tied for 4th in the league with 20 turnovers this year, ranked last in the league in points scored. I think they scored like 149 points the entire season. 149 points. The defense is middle of the pack, in all honesty. Everything that I was looking at, I was doing some research about the defense. The defense is middle of the pack. The defense is not the problem. What is going on the offensive side of that ball is an atrocity. It's an atrocity. You can put college teams out there who can put up more points than this against a pro team. I'm sorry.
Mac Jones, I'm gonna say this to finish this segment. I saw Mac Jones win a national title game with Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith, and these guys. You're gonna tell me that this guy is a bad quarterback? You need to develop, Adam. As coaches, you used to be one. As coaches, you need to develop. You gotta find pieces to put around your quarterback for him to be successful. This man hasn't done that. He has failed them. He has failed Mac Jones completely. Failed him. And I don't think he's gonna do it.
And when your run is over, just admit when it's at its end. You can leave gracefully. You know what I mean? I don't want to see the guy get fired, but you can just leave gracefully. What are you hanging around for? Don Shula's record? Just leave gracefully.
That's what he wants, though. That's what he wants. He's 16 wins away from having that record. But guess what? It's not going to happen next year because guess what? Like I said, the Jets will be better next year with Aaron Rodgers. Not going to happen. Wait 3 more years, maybe 4, maybe 4, maybe.
Yeah, because he's going to be winning like 3 or 4 games every season from here on out for the
Yeah. Do your math. Just do your math. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen anytime soon. Not going to happen.
All right.
I hope it doesn't happen.
Oh man. All right, so here we go, guys. Here's another segment that we do every single week. We got game balls to give out. Who you got, my friend? Who's your game ball going to?
Oh man, I'm gonna go with a homer like this week, man. I'm gonna have to go with Tyreek Hill, man. He just a guy, man. The Dolphins traded four picks for that guy, and guess what? He's all of those picks are worth it of what they gave up. That guy had another monster game. He had a 60-yard catch. He had another 60-yard, 70-yard, and a 60-yard catch, and hardly didn't play in the fourth quarter. And 2 scores, by the way, 2 scores.
He
just gets behind defenses. He just destroys people. Like he destroys cornerbacks. He, in my opinion, he's the best receiver that I have seen in the past 5 seasons. He's the best one. I don't horrible. If you do any mistake, he got you. He got you. So gotta go with Tyreek Hill, man.
Yeah,
Gotta go with him.
he destroys teams, and he also destroys fantasy teams, just like he did my team this week. All the two out there, I ended up losing to Manny by 7 points this week in our fantasy league. Thank you, Tyreek, for your contributions to that, because you were definitely one of the factors in that 7 point victory that Manny got. Congratulations to you, by the way, Manny, on a great victory.
Thank you, man. Thank you, Adam, man. Appreciate you.
My
But guess what? The good thing is both of us, at least. We'll be there. We'll
Hey,
be there.
we're 1-2 in the league right now, so you know what I mean. In
Yeah.
the 12-man league, that's not too bad. My game ball goes to one. You know what? I'm gonna show some love to my man Jordan Love.
Okay.
I'm gonna show some.
That's a good pick.
I'm gonna show some love. It's not easy to stand in the shadow of a giant, the shadow of a legend.
Yeah.
And to do it gracefully. And this is something that, you know, Aaron Rodgers himself had to go through, being behind Brett Favre for all of those years, getting drafted late, or 24th in that first round, and then having to sit behind Brett Favre as Brett Favre played that I'm retiring, not retiring, retiring, not retiring game. And Aaron Rodgers went on to make a great career of it. Jordan Love had to go through basically the same thing, whether or not he was going to retire, whether or not he wasn't going to retire. And this kid has done a great job this season. I don't think that's something that we should be overlooking, or I don't think that that's something that can be overstated with the amount of success that he's had this year with the Green Bay Packers. So my game ball goes to one Mr. Love. I'm going to show the man some love. So here's another segment that we've got our game balls out of the way. Here's another segment that we do every single week, and Manny's going to go this week. I missed my turn next week, so I forfeited my turn. Manny's going to go ahead and give us his top 5 NFL teams, of course, for now.
Correct. Well, number 5, I got the Dolphins. At number 5. Number 4, I got the Eagles because of what happened this past weekend. I'm gonna show some love to the Cowboys. I'm gonna put them third overall in the NFL. And then second, I got the Ravens. We all know who I have first is the 49ers. They are the best team in the NFL. They have the best roster overall from top to bottom. There's no argument. You can go and argue with your best friend out there. We all know who has the best roster in the league, hands down.
There's no argument from me regarding that, especially not after this week, because not only did they destroy the Seattle Seahawks on Thanksgiving Day, but then they followed it up by going up against probably the best team, at least in the Eagles probably would have been my number one team last week. Let's just put it that way. If I had done my top 5 NFL teams for now. So for them to go in there and beat the best team last week in the league, that's big. I don't have any problem with that list. Thank you for finally putting your home team Dolphins into the top 5. They made it. I feel like popping champagne.
They made it.
I feel like the 72 Dolphins. I don't know. They finally got in. So I like the picks. I don't know about necessarily placing the Cowboys above Philly. I know that they got.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay, give me that.
I'm gonna beat the Eagles based on what Dak has done in the past month. If Dak Prescott beats the Eagles this week coming up, and I'm hoping Jalen Hurts plays. That's where Jalen Hurts playing. He needs to play. He has a great chance to win the MVP this year, which I'll be very surprised if he does. If Dak Prescott lets me down, it's not gonna be good come next week. So I'm gonna get it out the way. I have the Cowboys. That's my pick. That's one of my picks for this week. Cowboys, Eagles. I got the Cowboys winning.
Okay,
It's
so
now or never.
so and we talked about that weak secondary in Philadelphia. We spoke
Yeah.
about that weak secondary in Philadelphia. So yeah, Dak is gonna have to show out this week. You know, he's gonna have to do his thing. So since you already kicked us off into that, let's go ahead. We got our NFL picks for week. I'm sorry. Let me do something here. This is not week 12 anymore. Let's get this right. Let's show it right. This is NFL picks for week 14. So you've already selected Cowboys over Eagles? Is that the way you
The
went?
Cowboys. Prescott has to bring me home. He needs to bring me home, yo. I'm putting my trust in him.
Okay.
Come on now. It's that time now. It's that time to grow up now. It's that time already.
All right. Well, I'm also gonna go Cowboys in Dallas over the Eagles, whether Jalen Hurts plays or not. And this is not a homer pick. Or right now, I feel like the Eagles have won a lot of close games this season. They've won a lot of comeback games this season, and you can't keep on getting away with that. There's only so much you can continue to get away with. And the Eagles have not been playing their best football. So unless they come out and play their best football this upcoming weekend, my expectation is that the Cowboys will win. I agree with that. So I already know where you're going with this one. Seahawks versus 49ers, NFC West matchup. Go ahead. Let's say it.
I gotta go with the 49ers. I have to go.
All
I have to
right.
go with the 49ers.
All right. We're both going 49ers. There's no way I'm going opposite of that. We got Broncos versus Chargers in SoFi. Who you got?
Man, this is gonna be a very low scoring game, man. This is gonna be a low scoring game, man. You know what, dude? Give me the Broncos, man.
All right.
I trust Russell Wilson in this stage, right? Like I think the Broncos are playing more for a playoff spot than the Chargers are.
I,
Give me the Broncos, man. Give me the Broncos.
I'm going Chargers. I'm going Chargers
Okay.
on that one. I'm going Chargers at home after the 6-0 baseball win. I think that they're going to want to have a really good offensive performance. I'm going to go Chargers there. Last, we've got another good one. This is Bills at Chiefs. They're in Arrowhead. Tell me what you think.
Oh.
Chiefs have been reeling at this point. Bills have been up against the ropes. Who's going to get off the ropes this
Okay.
week?
I'm gonna go Bills. I'm gonna go Bills. I gotta go Bills because Allen looked good in the last game that he played against the Eagles. He did look good. I mean, you know, he had a phenomenal game. I think he will follow that up with this week again this week. He will follow that up. I think I will pick the. I got the Bills in a shocker in Arrowhead Stadium.
I'm upset because I'm going Bills as well. I also agree Josh Allen has been playing well. They're really up against the ropes and they're really fighting because they're in a tough division. Not to mention they're coming off of a bye, so they'll be rested. Kansas City's coming off of a rough loss. I picked the rested Bills in this one. I picked the rested Bills for this upcoming week. So that'll do it. That'll do it. That's episode 4. Once again, I know Manny stated this. We appreciate all of you who watch. We ask you please subscribe. Please hit that notification bell. We will be on every single week except last week. Oops. Don't worry about it. We right here. My man Manny C, talk to the people. What you got to tell them closing?
No, just letting everybody know that we're not gonna go away, man. You know, last week we had a little hiccup. You know, it happened. You know, but please, guys, come back. We're gonna be here every single week, showing you guys some love, some new content, and that's it, man. And we wish you guys to have a great week, have a great weekend, and we'll see you guys back next week. And don't forget again to hit that like button, please. Have a
Yes,
good
sir.
night, guys.
We'll see you guys later. Be good. This is Adam and Manny C for Club 50 Sports. We'll see you next week. Peace out, everybody. Much love.
Take care, guys.